Busboys, starring Theo Von and David Spade. And I've heard a couple of interviews about this one, but it's just, it was their desire to make an old school comedy, um, a la Adam Sandler and, the old Saturday Night Live films. And so this is Busboys. Um, David Spade plays Marky. He's a guy who's working. He's an out of work guy, but he finds work by driving dying dogs on a road trip. That just takes him out on a car trip, and then ultimately gets him laid at the end by some other dogs. And so that's how he lives his life. Theo Von plays Steve, who is basically a young man who's under the shadow of his father, who is in prison. And so these two are losers. Everyone in the town hates these two, and they decide that they've got to change things around, and that they figured the best way to level themselves up in life is to become waiters. But no one will hire them as waiters, so they become busboys. And there's a restaurant that hires them, and they kind of do the busboy thing. And while on the job, they need to make a little bit more money. And so they come across a guy who's selling Dexatrim, and they somehow get his stash, his inventory, and decide on their own that they're going to be dealers of Dexatrim, of illegal narcotics, so to speak. And as a result, the mafia boss who owns the Dexatrim, and then also every law enforcement agent ever is after these guys for their work or for what they're doing, and it just becomes this wild comedy. Look, I had fun with it, but on the scale of smart and intelligent comedies, this is not one of those. If you are a fan of Theo Von and David Spade, you're going to have a good time with this one, because they're basically playing themselves. They're doing their kind of jokes. Also, this is a return to the humor that punches down, punches sideways, punches up. Everyone is a target in this movie. There are offensive moments, which is great. There are cringeworthy moments. These guys are just losers down on their luck, and they suffer the fate of many of those who have been losers in the past and down on their luck. So, look, most people will find this offensive, but if you have a sense of humor and just want to have a bit of fun, go see Busboys.
How does it compare to Joe Dirt?
Joe Dirt, it's an indie version. Look, Joe Dirt is somewhat of an indie film of its own. This is even more
right.
Indie. Not a lot of money in it. If you're a Kill Tony fan, let's see, who's the redheaded guy on Kill Tony? He's in the movie. Cam Patterson's in the movie. So just a lot of cameos. I think these guys are just kind of fed up with the state of comedy movies these days and decided to make their own. And very low budget, but very funny. I laughed quite a bit throughout this one.